Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to American Defender. Today we're going to talk about the Centurion BP-12 12 gauge bullpup. We're going to dive down here in a minute and we are going to rip this puppy apart. I've watched a few videos on this particular shotgun and I noticed the one thing everybody wants is a field stripping video, and nobody's done it. Well, your requests have been answered. I'm going to do it here. I'm going to field strip this gun. We're going to go over cons, pros. This gun is brand new. And this is going to be a lengthy video. And I'm just going to go through everything I can and lay it out there for y'all. Alright? So, first things first. Again, this is the Centurion 12 gauge bullpup known as the BP-12. It's also the same thing as the Charles Daly, I think it's called the NP-14 or something like that, or NP-4 or something around there. Alright, Charles Daly basically slaps their name on this exact same shotgun. The actual maker of this is Adler Arms in Turkey. So this is another Turkish shotgun. You'll notice right now, because of the environment that we're in with the Second Amendment, that Turkey is really, really importing a lot of stuff. And they're not importing garbage. They're actually importing some pretty cool stuff into the country. Now, you might have also heard of the BP-12 from Panzer. It's basically the same shotgun. Alright, the Panzer is Turkish as well. So let's talk about this shotgun. Let's get deep into it. I'm going to do a very quick field strip on it, as quick as I can go. It's fairly detailed. Then I'll go over the cons and the pros and some comparisons, and that should be it. Okay? So, and I do apologize, I'm going to have to do this on my lap from my chair, and you'll notice that there's paint and stuff on my chair. This was my wife's old crafting chair, so that's why I do this stuff in this chair and why I use this chair. It's torn up. It's a junky chair, and I just don't care about it. Alright, so here we go. Let's dive it down. Wow! Wow! There we go. We are diving down. Bring it on up here. Alright. So hopefully you guys can see this. If not, let me shed some light on the situation. Alright. I don't want to blind myself. There we go. Alright, so this is your BP-12 right here. 20-inch barrel. 5-round magazine. Cross bolt safety. Right there. Mag release is located right here. There is your magazine. This magazine is basically the same thing as an MKA 1919. I did put an MKA 1919 drum into this one while we were at the gun shop today, and it went right in. If we flip it over, you will see the controls on this side. We have our charging handle, which these guns are available with a side charging handle or a top-mounted charging handle. It's like a modern sporting rifle. And we have our bolt release here. Okay. To take this down, first things first, we've got to inspect our chamber. So to do this, we'll look back. It's empty. Alright. We also want to make sure that that hammer is cocked when we do this. The instructions that it comes with tell you to put the mag in, lock it back, and all that garbage. I don't do that. So this is actually going to be quicker than what they tell you to do. There's 3 screws on here. There's this one. There's this one. Not the one next to it. Not this little one next to it, but this one. And one in the back. On this right side, these are all the heads of the pins that hold the upper and the lower together, because this shotgun is somewhat modular. When we flip it over here, Those same 3 screws appear. One here. We have one here. And again, not this one next to it. This is for your feeding ram. This screw here that's countersunk. And then one in the back. These are the 3 we're going to take out. They're our flathead screw. We have our flathead screwdriver here. Let me get the correct bit. That's not it. We're just going to take these screws out. You may be tempted to take the screws out for this charging handle and think you need to. Do not do it. It's a mistake. This screw in the back here will be Loctited in. You will have to bust out the torch, and if you don't, you will booger it. I have a boogered. The boogered screw is now down here. I've moved it, but just don't do it. There's no need to do it. Okay, unless you really have to, then you take these 3 screws out. This plate and everything comes out, and your charging handle and spring and everything is in there. Let's go ahead and take these screws out here. Okay, well, we don't want that one, we want this one. I'm trying to do this upside down and it's weird. Okay. Now I've got my gun pointing in the wrong direction. I need to be this way. So as you can see, we don't have a screw missing right there. And there's the screw. The itty bitty little screws. If you guys remember my Silver Eagle review that I did, basic same pins. Okay. As a matter of fact, Adler, I believe, is the same folks that made Silver Eagle and the Dickinson, which, by the way, those are both the same shotgun. I think they only have a couple of manufacturers in Turkey. And they all pretty much make all the guns that come out of Turkey. If I haven't mentioned it, yes, this is a Turkish shotgun. Okay, just like I did on there, I'm going to pop those out. Dump these 2 out in my hands. Cover that one with my leg. Give that one a pop. I'm going to reach my finger under here. Pull this pin right here. Okay, just kind of lift up on it. Pull it out. Pull it out. Okay. That screw does not want to come out. It is forever stuck. Always when you're on camera. Alright. There, now it came out. I usually take the middle one out last. It's just something I like to do. You don't have to do it this way. But this middle pin is usually the easiest one to get out. It just falls out. There it is. Set those aside in a little tray or whatever. Now from this point you're done with the screwdriver. We're going to grab the upper and the lower and separate them from the front here. Okay, so I'm grabbing the lower, grabbing the upper, lift. And there we go. They are separated. We'll take a quick look inside of here. There we go. So here's your hammer, disconnector and everything. See this big long rod going along through here? No, you said rod. Anyway, this is your trigger bar all along right there. And there's your trigger up there. Right here, this is your bolt release. And we're going to talk about this bolt release a little bit in a minute. Okay, now to get the rest of this part. I'm trying to make this as quick as I can, but this is going to be, I'm trying to do detail at the same time. This entire heat shield is going to come off. We have our mag cap right here, screw. This just spins right off. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. We set that aside. There is a spacer and a locator plate that comes out the front. When we slide this off, that plate will want to come out, and there it is. The detent on it goes forward to catch your what they call their magazine nut or magazine screw. We have another nut right here, so what we will do, spin it off, kick it forward, spin it off again, that side, and now we will take the action apart. Now this can be tricky. The way I usually do it is you pull this back and then kind of pull forward on the barrel. And it can be a bear. Okay, so if you excuse my foot there. So we just kind of pull that forward. This is usually, there we go. So I pulled it back a little bit, pulled out on it. Now I'm going to bring the bolt and the carrier and everything all out in one piece. Okay, so there is our barrel. There is our piston. You will get two with this. This is the 2 3/4 piston that comes installed. There went the bolt. And there's the carrier. Alright, the bolt just sits on here. Okay, like so. Firing pin to the back here. And then here's your bolt face up there with where your firing pin comes out. And the way this works is it just slides on here. It's kind of a copy of the Benelli. Real basic, okay. And then we have our spring on our tube here. That's all there is to it. You are officially field stripped. Okay. We have our barrel here. This is a chrome lined barrel. As you can see, there's a chrome lined barrel. You can see the chrome lining everywhere. We're going to put this back on now. Put this back together. To do that, we need to first slip this on. I'm going to slide my gas piston on there. Okay, lift this up here. You don't have to do it this way. You can have the bolt on it already. Now we're going to slip the bolt in here, guide it up on the rails. All right, kind of get it set up into the receiver. I'm going to pull this all the way down. Try to stick this barrel on here. Because this can be the difficult part. It will go on fairly difficultly. Alright, so I'm going to pull down on this, let this kind of slide in. I'm going to keep downward pressure on everything. That slides in. I let go. All right, I'm keeping pressure on the barrel. I got to stick our nut back on there. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of working out of the field of view there, but I'm just going to slide that on. It's going to thread onto here, fall down, and we just thread it down again. All right, that puts that back together. Then we put this back on. These 3 little lugs on the back go towards the receiver. This all just slides on like so. Flip it over. We get our locating tab. That slides on here like so. Okay. Slide that back on there. All right. Get our nut here, our end cap. Again, this is called the magazine screw according to Adler, but the rest of the world is just a cap screw, or actually a cap nut. You want to make sure that detent on that again is pointed up towards the nut. Tighten that down. This is back together now. We will just slide this right back into its stock. There are a couple little locating notches. Alright, now I will take my pins. I usually, again, work on the center one first. That one goes in. Front one and rear one. Bottom them out, flip it over. Start threading our screws. Whoop. Kick the tripod there, excuse me. Okay. Okay, got those started. And then we get our screwdriver and we tighten it up. I hold the screw from underneath with my finger. And these don't have to be super tight. Okay, once that pin starts spinning, there we go. You're tight enough, all right? They don't have to be super tight. They're made to roll. Okay. Now, we'll run the bolt. Put it on safe. No, that was fire. Now we'll put it on safe. Doesn't fire. Okay, and I will bring it back. I'll put the magazine in. Lock it back. And now I will try to drop this. Okay. So we are done. It's that quick. It's that easy. Okay. Very simple. Very, very simple. 3 screws, a nut, a couple nuts, everything comes apart. So let's go ahead. Here I am. All right. Let's go ahead. And talk about the pros and cons. Pros, it's really short. Okay, so in comparison, this is a 20-inch barrel 12 gauge. All right. This is an 18.5-inch barrel Stevens 320 that I bought. It's factory configuration. I'm going to hold it up down here. You can kind of see the difference in length. All right. There's more barrel on this bullpup than there is on this pump. Bullpups make it easier for you to maneuver with. Okay. The balance on this is dead center. To point this thing with one hand is very easy. It is mag fed instead of mag tube fed. This is box mag fed, so your options for this are limitless. We have a very soft butt plate on the back. It's a good design, and it's comfortable to shoot. However, there's some cons with this thing, and a warning to go along with it. My warning is, when you get one, take it apart as you've seen me do. Soak everything in brake cleaner, and then re-lube everything, because when you get this thing, it's going to be so drenched in oil, it's completely unsafe to shoot, and it makes it to where you could possibly have a barrel obstruction with the oil. While it would be rare, you could. This thing was nasty. Nasty, nasty wet with oil when I got it. The bolt. This is a con for some folks out there, and I have to, it's subjective, but I got to mention it. Can be very hard to operate. Okay. My wife has a very hard time operating this bolt. When I first got it, I had a hard time operating this bolt. And I am no weakling by any standpoint. Okay. The bolt release is very difficult. Now you notice when I do it like this, I can release it just fine, okay? When I use my right hand on it and I point the barrel behind me, I can do it because I have the right leverage. But if you're reloading this thing and you want to press it from here, it can be difficult. You've got to kind of grab the mag and leverage into it. If you don't do it and you just try to give it one of these, sometimes it won't go. All right. So see, just to show you how hard I was pushing on that sucker, I'm not faking it. That latch is incredibly tough to operate. It'll probably work in as you shoot it and get easier. Same with the pull of the bolt and work those springs. But when you get it out of the box, it's going to be a tough. Okay, it's going to be real tough. That's pretty much it for the cons. All right, that's pretty much it. The other con that I got, it's a semi-con. At least they did it right on this particular gun. The feed ramp on it is plastic, but it's easy to replace. There's a screw right there, and a screw right there. You take the top off, take those two screws out. It just lifts out. You put the new one in. You put the two screws back in. You pop it back together, and you're done. Okay. So unlike the Kel-Tec Sub 2K, where you've basically got to be an acrobat and a physicist to get the thing back together, and where the Sub 2K was originally made in aluminum and then changed to plastic. Why Kellgren did that, I don't know, but he did, and it was a dumb idea. It started off like that from the get-go. Okay, this would be a good chance for someone to say, like, Long Shot Manufacturing, M-Carbo, someone like that, somebody in the aftermarket to come along and make a metal feed ramp. And actually, I think they, more than the feed ramp, should make an extended and a taller and thicker bolt release for this. Give it more leverage and make it stick out more, because it really don't stick out a whole lot. It looks like it does, but when I lock this thing, you'll see that you've got to really push on that. And when this magazine is out of this, it goes flat. All right. So if I need to lock it back, there's nothing here for me to lock it back. I've got to kind of sit here and pull it back and then kick that out like that. If it had another little doodad sticking out here that you could press, it'd be great. So those are my thoughts and views on it. It is made in Turkey. It does come with, again, 2 pistons. I have the box for it right here. Okay, there's what the box looks like. And inside the box, you will find your spare piston. You will find extra choke tubes. You will find this piece of paper and your manual. That is it. And 1 magazine. It only comes with 1 5-round magazine, but again, like I said, MKA and 1919 mags do work in it. So, awesome shotgun. It's a quality shotgun. They're about $4.99, anywhere between $4.79 and $5.19. All right, they are a bullpup, and they're just awesome. They're just absolutely awesome. Let's see if I can do it. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. That's a quick look at the Centurion BP-12, which is also, again, the same thing as the Charles Daly. I think it's called the NP4 or NP14, something like that. And even the Panzer BP-12. They're all basically the same gun. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, let me know down below by smashing that like button and leaving a comment. Share this video with your buddies and your groups out there. Remember to hit subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs before the year is up. We're only 192 away from it now. And I look forward to reading all your comments. Take a kid fishing, take a kid shooting, and I will see you on the flip. Bye now.